I didn't find out through an argument. I found out through an automated email. The subject line was polite, almost apologetic. A reminder about an upcoming tuition deadline. It listed the balance due, the payment options, the consequences of delay. At the bottom, in smaller text, it noted that the associated education account showed insufficient funds. I refreshed the page twice before it sank in. Then I logged into the account myself. Years of small sacrifices translated into neat columns, deposits, interest projections, and then the recent withdrawals, large, deliberate, final. I sat at the kitchen table longer than necessary, the house still, the air faintly smelling of the coffee she'd made earlier. There was no panic in me yet, just a hollow professionalism, the same feeling I get when something breaks at work and the solution will be expensive but clear. When she came home that evening, she was in a good mood, talking quickly, telling me about traffic, about a new place she'd seen, about plans she was making. I waited until she stopped talking on her own. "I got an email from the university," I said. She didn't look worried. That was the first thing that told me this wasn't a mistake. "You moved the college fund," I said, keeping my voice level. She exhaled through her nose, amused. "I knew you'd react like this. React, as if this were an overcooked meal. That money was dead capital," she continued. "Just sitting there. I needed it working. I'm doing what's best for my future." I remember noticing how calmly she said our daughter's name right after that, like adding a footnote, as if the future could be itemized and reassigned. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't ask about the man, though I already suspected. I asked one thing only. "When were you planning to tell her?" She shrugged. "She's young. She'll understand later. Later. Always later, when damage has had time to harden into fact." That night I didn't sleep. Not because I was angry, but because something inside me had finally stopped negotiating. For years I had smoothed over her dismissals, reframed them as confidence, ambition, realism. I had confused patience with responsibility. In the morning I called a lawyer, then the bank, then the university's financial office. I didn't dramatize anything. I asked procedural questions. What protections existed? What documentation mattered? What could still be preserved? She noticed the change in me by the third day. The silence. The way I stopped explaining myself. "You're overreacting," she said once, standing in the doorway. "This is between us." "No," I said. "It isn't." That was the last conversation we had that resembled a marriage. The external consequence arrived a week later. Not with shouting, but with letters, asset reviews, account freezes, a formal notice that funds improperly withdrawn from a designated education account were now subject to scrutiny due to the minor beneficiary attached to it. She read the envelope standing up. Her confidence didn't disappear, but it bent. "They can't do this," she said. "They already have," I replied. She accused me of betrayal, of humiliation, of choosing institutions over family. I didn't argue. For the first time, I let authority speak where I used to fill the space myself. When her lover's down payment fell through, I didn't feel satisfaction, just a quiet confirmation that decisions echo outward whether we acknowledge them or not. Our daughter asked me weeks later why things felt different. I told her the truth without poison. That sometimes adults make choices that cost more than they expect. That her education was safe now. That I was here. She nodded, processing it in her own way, then asked if I could help her with an application essay. Life insisting on continuity. The marriage ended without drama. Paperwork again, signatures, a division of assets that reflected reality more than intention. She left angry, not because she lost money, but because she lost control of the narrative. I stayed, Not in the house, we sold it, but in myself. One evening, after everything settled, I stood in the small apartment I'd moved into and reread the email that started it all. It no longer felt sharp. Just factual. That money had bought her a future, all right. Just not the one she expected. And for the first time in a long while, neither had I. But mine felt earned.